I have a basic problem with the Liberal government importing 1,600 Korean workers to work at the NextStar EV battery plant in Windsor, Ontario, when Canadian taxpayers are spending $15 billion to build the plant. This should be a place where Canadian workers are hired for the most part. Sure, maybe we don't have a lot of experience making sophisticated EV batteries, so you bring in a few people from Korea who've worked in the area before to train Canadians. Nonetheless, most of the jobs should be for Canadians. But of the 2,500 jobs that are expected at the NextStar plant in Windsor, the federal government is planning on bringing in 1,600 South Koreans to fill those jobs. So I have a basic problem with that. But the bigger problem I have with this is that whatever happened to the just transition? You remember that the federal government has said several times that as it takes away jobs in the energy sector, as it reduces the jobs in the oil and gas sector, if it reduces the jobs in the internal combustion engine assembly sector in Ontario and Quebec, it will transition those workers from their well-paying jobs in the auto sector and in oil and gas. It will transition them justly to high-paying jobs in the green energy sector or in the green manufacturing sector. Well, whatever happened to that? This plant in Windsor, Ontario is not scheduled to be completed until early 2025. You've got a year and a half, probably closer to 2, to train a bunch of Canadians who are going to be out of work because of your environmental policies to work in these high-paying jobs in the battery plant in Windsor. But whatever happened to that just transition? You don't hear a thing about it anymore because it's phony. It always was phony. You have to remember that a lot of the people in the Liberal government in Ottawa used to be in the Liberal government in Ontario under Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne. Not just the politicians, but a lot of the thinkers, the policymakers, and the staffers. And they said when Ontario was trying its just transition to a green energy future, that tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of well-paying jobs would be created in wind and solar and biomass energy production. Hundreds of thousands of jobs. Well, after 10 years and over $50 billion of subsidies just in Ontario, the Ontario Auditor General found that at most there were about 12,000 green jobs that had been created, about 200,000 manufacturing and other energy jobs that had been lost, a difference of 188,000 jobs lost, and there was almost no impact on emissions. That's what's going to happen with the Windsor plant, and that's what bothers me the most, is there will not be a just transition. They will not be taking Canadians who they're putting out of work with their lunatic green ideas. They will not be training them to work in these high-tech jobs in Windsor. They'll be bringing in people from Korea who already know how to do the jobs. And that, to me, says the Liberals think Canadians are too dumb to learn how to make EV batteries. And the whole green agenda of the Liberal Party is nothing but a fake. For Postmedia, I'm Lorne Gunter.